Hey, welcome. Special edition of the Fright Club podcast, this time with a special guest, old friend, new friend, and it's going to be a lot of fun to talk about. But we'll get to that in just a second. She is Hope Madden.
He's George Wolf.
And this is the Fright Club podcast. And last time out, we talked about temptation in horror as we did it live from Gateway Film Center.
That's right. And it was fun because the film that we showed was Lair of the White Worm, which is a super fun, funny movie to watch. So many like giant celebrities in their youth in this twisted Ken Russell film. And a lot of people, and myself included, we'd never seen it on a big screen before.
Me either.
Yeah, so it was just fun to watch all together. And Temptation, I mean, we left, it's maybe the primary theme in horror films. So we left a lot off the list. But I think people on the whole were pretty forgiving of that. We tried to like parse it out. Like they can't all be succubus movies. They can't all be vampire movies. They can't all, So we kind of picked and chose, as you will. But I think it was a good list.
Yeah, and I think everybody had a good time with the movie, even the people that had seen it. And there were quite a few, but not on the big screen. Yeah. And as always, since our crowd is so smart, had lots of great comments afterwards. Excuse me. So we're looking ahead to next time. We're going to be back on Friday night, August 14th at Gateway Film Center. And oh man, we're going to talk about a movie that I love.
Rubber. Yeah.
Quentin Dupieux.
Yeah, Quentin Dupieux, Rubber. I think it was the first Quentin Dupieux movie we'd ever seen. And we were like, oh, immediately we love this person. And we're going to talk about absurd horror. And what that means is you're going to want to come because we're going to argue. Something on the list is the movie that he and I disagree about the most passionately. And I have a dress.
Yeah. So if you're
this movie,
if you're a longtime Fright Clubber, you know what we're talking about.
Do.
And I know already that I'm the odd person out. I think there's one other person that comes to the Fright Clubs that agrees with me, but I'm gonna die on that hill. I don't like it. But I Rubber,
really like it.
Rubber, I do like it. Yes. I remember I reviewed that when we were still writing for the newspaper, and I had no idea what it was about. What's this? And then I got into it. I'm like, I'm sorry, a tire that kills people? Yes, indeed, I'm into this. And I loved it. And
it's the most fun.
And Quentin Dupieux is always fun. So
yeah. And when we announced it last month, there was a massive cheer in the crowd. So a lot of other people must also love this movie.
And I think, wasn't there just in the last few months, I think there was a commercial that had a tire rolling around doing things. And people were like, hey.
Yeah, unless you kill a bunch of people, we don't care.
But anyway, so that is August 14th, Gateway Film Center. We get going with happy hour at 8 o'clock. Then we move into the house, whatever house they have us in. We'll do the podcast from 9 to 9:30, and then the movie.
That's right. Actually, you know what? We already know what short we're going to show. We are going to show such a great short film, Jeremiah Kipp's Slapface. So you might remember a few years ago, the feature film Slapface, which was great, came out. But this is the short film that is based on. And we're really thrilled to get a chance
friend
to
of the show, Jeremiah Kipp.
He's been on a couple times.
Yeah, so that's awesome. All right.
Speaking of friends,
let's welcome in Gareth Tidball from the brand new film The Withering, and many others. Hello.
Hi. It's so good to see you.
It is so good to see you. Now, if you look real hard, you can see Gareth on the poster behind me, right there where my finger is. There she is.
Right, there she is.
Because she was fantastic in our film Obstacle Corpse.
That's
if
right.
you haven't seen it, come on, man.
That's right.
What are you doing?
What are you
doing with your life? Watch Obstacle Course.
And in fact, if I think about it, we are recording from your bedroom.
Yes.
Gareth stayed with us when we filmed, and this is the bright green room that she had to wake up in every day.
I called it home for those 10 or 12 days I was there.
And let me tell you, and I've told this Hope before, and she will back me up on this. I'm not a person that really warms up to new people that quickly. But from the 2 minutes that you got in our car when we picked you up at the airport, I said, oh, I like this person.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, that means a lot.
She's the real deal.
Yeah.
And
oh, man.
So glad that we had you in the film. And you've just continued to go on to do great things, as we knew you would.
Yes.
Since then. And we'll talk about
much.
those. And the latest is just hit streaming called The Withering. Tell us about that.
Well, The Withering is a horror, which is kind of what I'm doing these days. And it is directed by Dan Pico of Pico Boulevard Entertainment. And it is about an elderly woman who is getting towards the end of her life. She's recently got some bad health news. And so her time on Earth is limited. And by total circumstance, she comes across an amulet at an estate sale that she doesn't realize actually has the power to bring back her youth and basically give her a second chance at life. However, this comes at a cost, which is other human lives, obviously. So she kind of takes advantage of that a little bit, but it's all in the name of survival and being able to be young and beautiful again and live her life to the fullest in the way that she really wanted to originally, but never got the chance to do. And Haley Sumner is kind of the protagonist of the story, who's trying to stop Judith, this old woman who's turned young again, in any manner that she can. And yeah, it affects the whole town, essentially. So Dan Pico likes to equate it to like a sort of an ensemble story similar to Salem's Lot, where, you know, everybody kind of has a part to play in this small Midwest town. And there's, you know, lots of twists and turns. It's gory. It's got real heart to it. I think, yeah, it's a lot of fun. And we made it for about $7,000, maybe a little bit more. So yeah, I mean, you know, there are bits where it's like, yeah, you can definitely tell this is on the lower budget end of things, but I think
I would not have guessed that low.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, the $7,000 that came from James Cullen Bressick. He's got a scheme basically where he gives $7,000 to a filmmaker to go out and make a movie. Because that's how much he made his first feature for.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool scheme. So that's, you know, we added a little bit of money on top of that just so we could get things the way we wanted to. I don't know the exact ending number. That's none of my business. But yeah, it was about $7,000. And then we shot it in 14 days. So
that's
yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah. That whole team worked so hard. I was like, and I was, again, similar to Obstacle Corps, I was coming in as an outsider, essentially, because this whole crew had worked together before on loads of things. They'd done the 48-hour film project in Wisconsin, which is a competition, I think, loads of times. So they'd all worked together. They were all really tight-knit. And I had never met a single one of them in person before I came to set. Which is, yeah, very similar to walking on set with you guys on Obstacle Corps. But, you know, in both cases, it worked out for the best. And, you know, I had a really great time. And everybody, yeah, I think that existing working environment really worked in our favor because, you know, they gelled. And I gelled in with them. I kind of had to, but luckily it worked out.
You were filming in Wisconsin?
Yeah, so we were in Beloit, Wisconsin, and a couple locations were in Janesville, Wisconsin. So both small towns that I'd never even heard of until I got there. But yeah, I mean, again, it was beneficial being in those small towns because we got a lot of locations for free. Sure. We got a lot of help from the community, a lot of people who just wanted to come and see the fact that we were making a movie and they'd never been on a film set before. Right. So there was a really nice community aspect to it as well.
You know, I think that's actually one of the reasons that you would never guess that it was such a low budget film is that there are a lot of locations in this movie. You got a mall and a church and, you know, water and different homes. I mean, a lot of locations in this movie. That's nuts.
Yeah. We were really, really lucky to have some very kind people that would, you know, just wanted to help out with the film. And, you know, you can use our shop or, you know, and we had to make some last minute changes with locations that fell through as you do. So, but yeah, I think we covered our butts pretty well with that.
Oh, yeah. And the thing I thought was so fun. So you, as you didn't mention though, you play the younger version of, and Deborah Onsager, am I saying that right?
Yeah, Deborah Onsager
is the lead at the beginning, and then after the amulet, she becomes you, and she has a very, very distinctly Midwestern way of talking.
Yes,
that you immediately picked up, and it was so perfect that I laughed. I laughed out loud. It was so funny to hear you talk like that. How hard was that to do?
Well, it's such a relief that you found it convincing because I was sort of crapping myself thinking, oh, I don't want to make this cartoonish, but it's kind of vital to the character and to Debbie because that's just her natural Midwestern, you know, way of speaking. And I was like, I think I have to do it because if I just come in speaking like me, it's not going to match.
No.
So I don't know. I think I watched a lot of YouTube videos. And I was thinking of Fargo a little bit. I didn't watch Fargo because I think they go a little too far with the accents and that. But I've always been fascinated by accents, and I love delving into any kind of new regional accent that I can get my hands on. So it was just an excuse for me to just kind of do some nerdy accents and dialect research. And I'm glad I pulled it off.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fun. So that is on. Withering is out now on streaming. So check it out. And of course, Obstacle Corpse is still on streaming. Check that out, streaming. But let's go back to your background, where you got into this whole thing, and your upbringing, and how you got into the acting, how you got the acting bug.
Well, if we want to go as far back as when I was like 4 or 5 years old and had too much energy, so that my parents put me into a summer drama program. I don't know. I've always, I can't even really pinpoint a moment where I was like, this is what I want to do, because it's been such a big part of my life for a long time. I don't know. I've always enjoyed words and storytelling, and I was always that kid in elementary school who would want to read things out loud. And yeah, I don't know. My friends and I would put on plays, when we were hanging out after school, and then charge our parents 50 cents to come watch it 2 hours later. It was just like a really natural thing that I love doing. And then I was doing lots of like after school drama programs. My parents were really supportive of me doing that, which I'm really lucky to have. And then auditioned for NYU, and went there. I went to New York for the first time, and studied Meisner training in New York at Tisch, and then did a year of classical training, which is Shakespeare, because again, I love Shakespeare. I love words. I love all of that stuff. So I'm a big literary nerd at heart. Just I don't know. I always struggle with this question when people ask me, just because it feels very like an inherent part of who I am. I don't know. I hope that is.
Where's hometown?
Hometown right now is Cardiff, Wales.
Right.
But I grew up in Oakland, California.
Yep.
Lived there till I was 18. My parents still live in the house I grew up in, which is great. And then, I was in New York for about 8 years. So 3 years at college, and then 5 years just working as an actor and failing.
Yeah. And the cool thing, one of the other cool things that we know about you is that you went to circus college, clown college.
Yeah, so that's originally what brought me to the UK. Is I applied for this circus school called Circomedia, which is in Bristol in the southwest of England, and I was there. I did training for like a year and a bit, and weirdly, it was during COVID, so it was a blessing that they allowed us to still train. For the most part. We did have a shutdown in between, like right in the middle of the training, where we all were sent home for like 6 or 9 weeks or whatever it was. I don't know. That whole period of time is such a blur. But it was a great way because, I actually, that was the most like physically fit I've ever been in my life. Now it's all fallen apart, but it was a really good way to pass the time during COVID, because I had real fitness goals, and I was training with people who had done circus and gymnastics and acrobatics since they were like 8. So I was like bottom of the pile by far. But that was real motivation to be like, okay, well, maybe I can do a handstand in a year's time and hold it for 5 seconds. I don't know. But so I guess the other part of what I really love about performing is the physicality. Because I would say I'm, in addition to like always being very attached to words and language, I'm very interested in people's physicalities and the way that they move and how their lives inform how they sort of physically move through a space, and that often plays into when I develop a character. So yeah, now I can do a handstand and play any character as well.
in the Withering, I don't want to give anything away, but in the last act, I thought to myself, oh, she's enjoying this. There's quite a transformation that I thought, oh, I bet she's loving this.
I was loving that. Yeah. It was so much fun. And yeah, I mean, we didn't have a lot of prep time. I think Dan approached me with the script about 3 months before we started shooting. Maybe even less than that. I can't, yeah, but it wasn't like a decent amount of time to think about like all the minutia of characters. And I guess in a good way, I didn't overthink anything. I just sort of instinctually fell into what I thought would be right. But yeah, there's a big physical scene at the end, which I really, really enjoyed. And I'm trying not to say what that is.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, you should just watch the movie.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's exactly right.
We it's funny, I recall we learned about Circus College because on the Obstacle Corps shoot, there was one day in particular that was everybody was there because we only had the park that had the obstacles for 2 days. So everybody had a scene at some point. And while we were shooting little groups, everybody else, of course, was just bored senseless in like the big, roofed area of a park where people have parties. And when we came back to get one group of people, everybody was doing cartwheels and somersaults. And it's because you were teaching people, bored actors.
What else am I going to do? It's a big green open field.
School. Come do it. And so thank you for that because you kept everybody busy.
No problem.
Well, we've loved seeing, since Obstacle Corps, all the projects you've had since then. It's great.
Yep.
But I wonder how is to navigate your home base there being in Wales. Is that difficult to navigate, having to travel with all these shoots and maybe come to the States and go back? Obviously, you've made it work pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm a fluke in a lot of ways because I love living in Cardiff. It's my dad's hometown. He's Welsh. And it really does feel like I've put down roots here. But then every other year, because I still have lots of connections in the indie film industry in the States, somebody will like tap me and be like, hey, are you down to come to this small podunk town and shoot a movie? And I'm like, yes, always. So yeah, I think I love any excuse to travel. I'm a big traveler, and I love just being able to explore a new place that I never would have otherwise visited. I'd never been to Ohio until I came to film Obstacle.
You're welcome.
So, yeah, yeah, really close to my heart. Yeah. So I don't know. I really feel lucky in that sense. And I feel like, there are a lot, not to knock the UK, but there are a lot more people that I find in the States who are just down to just take the plunge and make a movie. And, they want to get the right people, and they're just, I don't know, they've got more cojones. I don't know. They're just like, they just go and do it, And I think in the UK, we still have that sense, but it feels less grassroots, and it feels more like, okay, we're going to try and apply for Arts Council funding. And, we didn't get it this year, but we'll try next year. And, it's a little bit of a longer process. And it's great that the council will fund projects. That's like the positive in the UK. But I think things just take a little bit longer for that reason. So, swings and roundabouts, as they say in the UK.
You do have, I think we noticed right off, you have sort of an explorer's personality. That's when you came here, because when you auditioned and we were like, would you please be in our movie? We didn't know that you were based in Wales, because again, it was right on the cusp, like on the, outside edge of COVID. And so we did everything over online. We did all auditions. People sent tapes. We did all the sort of interviews online. We had no idea that you were based in Wales. And we just thought, wow, that's crazy. But then even when you were here, because you're one of the leads and you only had maybe 2 days off the whole time that you were here, and both days you're like, what should I go see in Columbus? And you would just take off on your own. And you told us about a pierogi shop we were unaware of, and we've been here 100 years. And I wonder, I mean, do you feel that way? Because that's how you come across to us. It's just like an explorer.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. If I'm in a new place, I just want to see what it's about, and I don't think I'm ever going to grow out of that, because I'm, I was going to say my age then, and I was like, no, I'm not going to. I'm at the age where there's no more time to grow out of things. Let's say that. But yeah, I don't know. I think maybe if I had to pin it down, it's because I used to travel to the UK to visit my dad's family. So that's, and I feel very privileged to say that's like always been a big part of my life, is traveling back and forth. And, it just comes naturally. I don't know.
It's a great trait. Well, I think will probably always serve you well.
Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah.
Well, I think we're 21 minutes into this now, and I'll just go ahead and address the elephant in the room, because there's two people here. One of them is a huge fan of Mr. Tom Hardy.
Both of us are. One just may be bigger.
And one of the three of us has actually shared a scene with Mr. Tom Hardy. So let's get into that, because that's a film I really enjoyed, Havoc.
Yeah. So that was filmed in South Wales, of all places. And when I auditioned for that, it really just felt like right place, right time. They shot it in 2021, and then they had to stop shooting due to COVID. And then there were all of these other delays. So they had pickups in summer of 2024. And by the time they were getting around to do pickups, they had rewritten a scene that required a female actress based in South Wales who can do a sort of working class East Coast American accent. And hello. I don't think there are a lot of people in like Cardiff, South Wales area who fit that brief naturally, except me. So, I auditioned and then got the part within like 3 days of auditioning. And then 2 weeks later, I was on set face to face with Tom Hardy. So it was a really crazy whirlwind experience. It was 3 days on set. It was loads of people. It's the biggest set I've ever been on by far. Really intimidating. But I guess one of the things I remember about it is that I had no pressure to look good. Like if I showed up to set with a pimple, the makeup artist would sit me in the chair and I'd be like, you don't need to cover this up, because I'm gonna have to look like shit. Yeah, it's great. Like not embarrassed about that pimple at all. Because they put me in a like bloody nose, and I'd just been beat up in the scene before. So, but yeah, it was great. And the only real interaction I had with Tom Hardy was that I was the director had called places, and I was meant to go back up this flight of stairs. And Tom Hardy was on his phone blocking the doorway, and I was just so scared to even talk to him that I just stood there silently waiting for him to move. And then he finally, after way too long, turned and realized that I was waiting for him to move, and he went, "Oh, sorry, darling." And I was like, "Oh my God, he called me darling." So yeah, I mean, he probably doesn't know who I am, but he called me darling. So that's a big plus. I can retire now.
Well, your scene is very memorable.
It is.
You make quite an impression. It's really, you're talking about the stairs, because you're at the top of the stairs, and then the other characters down here. And it's really a scene that, in your small amount of screen time with the man that you're fighting there, you get a real sense of who these people are in a very short period of time.
Yeah. And I think in a lot of movies, especially sort of action-oriented movies, the character that you're playing is often sort of disregarded as being sort of puny. Like, oh, she just gets beat up and she has and you really gave that character some chutzpah.
Yes.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, if I'm calling someone a punk ass bitch and telling them to fuck off, I feel like I should do that with some chutzpah.
That was what did you think the film when you finally saw it? I mean, that is such a cool action film. I mean, once it gets moving, it barely comes up for air.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real hard hitter. And to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of action movies that are that full on like that, you know. But it was cool. It was very surreal, and the fact that I can just go on to Netflix and watch it anytime is really cool.
And then in the last, going back before that, you had a cool movie called Robin with a number 1.
Yeah.
That's more because Havoc, action, not horror. Robin is more in the horror vein, sci-fi horror vein.
Absolutely. Yeah. Possessed doll horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really fun. And I've worked with that team since Robin. We've got a movie coming out called Grin, which is actually, we just found out, premiering at Fright Fest this year, which is really cool.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Nice.
Thank you. Yeah. So I believe it's on the first day, which is the Thursday, 27th of August. Yeah. So I'll be going to that, and I play the lead in that, and it's kind of what that company, Fowler Media, do best. They do a lot of like scary doll, scary clown, scary demon type movies. So yeah, I'm really, really excited for that one. I think the production value on that one is just top notch, and
so Fright Fest is based in London, right? That's a big deal.
It's a big one.
That's a big deal to premiering your film at Fright Fest. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been wanting to go to Fright Fest for years. Even if I'd never had a film in it, I just wanted to go and enjoy the festival because I love film festivals. But yeah, now I have a really good excuse to go.
You do. You know, because you've made a lot of feature films, a lot of them. Like 20 feature films.
Yeah, I mean, my number in my head was about 12. I think, yeah. I mean, my IMDb is probably more accurate than my brain, but yeah, 12 of them are memorable to me.
But it's really, I mean, it's an exciting thing. You don't meet that many people. And My Autopsy, that was your first feature?
That was my first, yeah.
Because I remember when you arrived, you had to quickly get someplace quiet because you were doing an interview for that film, because that went over pretty big.
Yeah. We were again that we finished that one and submitted to film festivals like still during COVID times, so it was really touch and go about how it was going to be received. But that one screened at Genre Blast, which is down in Virginia. And I won a Best Actress award for that, which was really cool, back in 2021. So that was kind of my initial foray into like darker movies and thrillers. And there's kind of a horror element to that movie as well, in terms of the dreams, the nightmares that my character has. We really got to go the like creepy music video route with that, which was a lot of fun. And I think it was there where I realized how much horror films could be fun. And yeah, it's just kind of paved the way since. So I'm really grateful to that team, and Holly, the director, for casting me and sort of setting me off on this journey, this crazy road.
One of the comments that we've gotten pretty routinely over the last few years about Obstacle Corps is that, I mean, I apologize for, you have one very memorable, very bloody scene in that film, and in our film, and it was hard to prep physically. It was hard to, we did a lot of takes of that, and we shot in 12 days. We didn't do a lot of takes of anything, but we did a lot of takes of that scene. Is that fun for you to have like bladders and blood and get
blood
nasty?
Gags.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. I love all of that prosthetic stuff. And in The Withering as well, we had, some prosthetics work going on. I was in the makeup chair for about 2 hours to get a certain look ready.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know, it feels like being at a spa. to me. I just get to like sit back and do nothing except chat to the makeup artist, who's usually a very interesting person with some really crazy stories. So I can just listen to them and I don't know, have a coffee, and I don't know. Sometimes I do a little bit of acting prep, but not usually. I usually like take it as downtime because I've, been on set a few days, and yeah, it's welcome to just be able to sit in a chair and do nothing.
And also, may I say, for the two main posters that I've seen for the Withering, you're right there front and center, and you make a scary face.
Yeah.
You make a very scary image on the poster.
Yeah. So the I'm not sure which one you're talking about, but the one that's the thumbnail for the trailer, that's really funny because I didn't know they'd black out my eyes.
Yes.
Because that was done in post. But yeah, it looks creepy as hell.
It
does. That's good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Well, what else? That one's streaming now. Withering just came out. As we record this, it's only been out like a week or maybe even less.
Yeah.
And for the moment, it's only out in the States. But we're hoping. Yeah, we weren't sure about whether it would be out internationally. But I've checked on my end, and it's not available in the UK yet.
Okay.
So we're investigating with the distributor when it's going to be available in other territories. But yeah, it's definitely out in the US. Amazon Prime, YouTube Movies, and Apple Movies. I can't remember, but at least those two.
Do you find a big disparity between the release dates over there with the States?
I think a lot of it depends on which distributor you go with, because they all have different deals and different negotiations going on. I know with Fowler Media, who did Robin and Grin, they have a sales agent that really prioritizes them having movies available in South America because they've really got a following down there. So yeah, I don't know. To be honest, I'm not a good person to ask when it comes to distribution stuff. I'm on the other end of that sort of thing, and then once the film wraps, I just cross my fingers and hope that it'll somehow get out to the public somehow.
But you have 5 movies upcoming, so not just Grin, but The Crossing, Moon Man 158, House of Red Doors, and Foxglove Candy. That's a lot, man. That's a shit ton of movies you have coming out still.
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, we can kind of cross House of Red Doors off the list because that was a film that my friend and I wrote the screenplay of together. And we put it on IMDb hoping that it will manifest into us making it one day. I don't know if that'll actually happen. But yeah, the other 4, did you say? They're definitely in post. I've seen Moon Man 158. It's being submitted to festivals right now. And for once, it's not a horror. So if you don't like scary movies, you can actually watch this one. And it's a really interesting story about 2 British graffiti artists who are kind of like a tag team of Banksy in their own way. So they tag different areas around Bristol that always have some kind of political meaning to them, and then they get noticed by an art dealer who kind of wants to make them go commercial. And I won't give too much away, but basically then there's a tragedy, and one of the artists has to figure out how his work can still be relevant after this tragedy. So it's a really cool story. I play a journalist who kind of wants to uncover Moon Man's identity. So I meet the 2 guys and basically figure out that it's them who's doing this wonderful graffiti art. But I've got my own agenda. So I don't exactly... I play it off like I'm going to be helping them, but it doesn't totally work out in their favor. So I'm the villain again, but at least I'm not in a horror movie and I'm not killing anyone. So,
and maybe you can tell us who Banksy is.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're busy, and that's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I'm feeling good. Feeling very grateful.
Good. Well, just best of luck with all that and all the future. I know that you will probably have many more.
Oh yeah.
In the future, because the work just keeps being stellar as always, and we can say whatever happens, we can say we knew you win.
That's right.
Thank you so much. This has been a blast.
Same here. Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, glad to. And as we said, we're looking ahead to our next live event, which is the 14th, August 14th. Going to show Rubber. Going to be fun, and we're going to talk about absurdity in horror.
That's right. We're going to argue in front of everybody.
We're going to argue, but since this won't be as we tape this, it won't be edited for a couple of days. We can announce that our latest short film, Drunkula, is going to be debuting at Cinema Columbus Film Festival.
That's right, it is. That's right.
Right here in town, and that's going to be September the 13th. We are going to be at Gateway. Our screening is going to be 11:30 a.m. Yeah, Drunkula, fun, filmed right here in Columbus, and we had a ball doing it, and we think it's pretty good.
Yeah, we like it. We do.
Yeah, so there'll be more about that coming up. But yeah, if you're in the Columbus area, Cinema Columbus, which I believe was voted in the USA Today the best film festival in the country.
Which is insane.
Insane, because it's only been around for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And just hit the ground running.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. There'll be more ahead. But once again, Gareth Tidball in The Withering right now. Look it up. Watch it. It's great. She's great. And we can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
All right. And until next time, she is Hope Madden.
He's George Wolf.
And this is the Fright Club Podcast.
Stay frightful, friends. Am I supposed to say that? I already forgot my line.
That's great. We're all staying frightful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Great to see you.
You too.